Hi guys and welcome to Premier League Week 5. We are back from the international break. I didn't actually watch England, to be fair. I wasn't really interested in this Nations League, whatever it's called, and I don't really do friendlies. So we're back to the main part of football, which is the Premier League. And we start with the lunchtime kickoff tomorrow, which is Tottenham versus Liverpool. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I think it's at Wembley, if I'm corrected. Tottenham, who have just recently lost to Watford, and Liverpool, obviously they're smashing teams up at the moment. So, this is going to be quite a good game. Actually, I'm not sure if Liverpool might actually be top of the league at the moment. I think Liverpool might be top of the league at the moment, actually, yeah. Or it might be, it's either Liverpool or Chelsea. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. We know that Tottenham are going to turn up. It's Liverpool. They're going to raise the game. We know what Liverpool can do. We know how Jurgen Klopp's going to, set Liverpool up, and I think it's going to be a really, really good end-to-end battle. But with both keepers pulling off fantastic saves. And for that, I'm going to go for a really, really fantastic game, but not so much of a fantastic result. I'm going to go Spurs 1, Liverpool 1. As I say, I can see this being like an end-to-end kind of game with both defenders and goalkeepers, and saving off the line, and crucial tackles left, right, and centre. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. So I hope it lives up to its potential, if you like. We know that Sky loads of times build these kind of games up, and they really are a letdown. So let's hope the big build-up will be worth it. So now we go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We have Manchester City versus Fulham. Fulham's not actually done too bad, considering they've just been promoted. I think it was like maybe 8 years ago, something like that, since they've been in the Premier League. So being away from the Premier League for that long, and then coming back, and doing quite well actually, is quite impressive. I think they'll be quite happy the way their season started. It could be worse. You could be West Ham, who's got Premier League experience and the bottom of the league. So that's how I'd be looking at it if I'm Fulham. It's at Manchester City. You can't really see more than a Manchester City win. Could be wrong. There's been loads of shocks in the Premier League before, but hindsight, you would put your house on the line for Manchester City to beat Fulham, especially at home. So I'm going to go Manchester City 2, Fulham 0. I've actually gone for quite a lively game in this next one. We've got Bournemouth versus Leicester. Again, I think two teams that will be going end to end. Again, I think it'd be another good classic game. I think Jamie Vardy might be back as well for this game. I think he served his I think he had 2 game ban today, so I think he's served those now. So I think Vardy is back for tomorrow's game, but don't quote me on that. So I'm going to go for a lively game for this one. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Leicester 2. I think two teams that like to attack, but not that good at defending. So 2-2 for me. We then have Newcastle versus Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal beating Cardiff 3-2 before the international break. It should have been more from Arsenal, and I don't think that Cardiff would have scored had Arsenal not been giving stupid goals away. Like playing from the back, and Petr Cech. For me, Petr Cech's been an absolutely fantastic asset for Chelsea, and maybe his first season at Arsenal. But he's like 36 now, I think, and he's just he's just going downhill. He might do well for someone like, as I say, Fulham, who's just come up into the Premier League and looking to a relegation battle, or he might do well for someone in the Championship, trying to get him promoted. But for a top team like Arsenal, who's trying to get into the top 4, and let's be honest, maybe next year even trying to challenge for a title. He's not really your goalkeeper now, is he? For for wanting to win titles and get into the top 4 as well. Again, I'm going to go for an easy win for Arsenal, but Arsenal probably won't make it easy. On paper, no disrespect to Newcastle, but on paper, we should be beating Newcastle, maybe even more by the result that I've actually put. But knowing Arsenal, they'll probably give Newcastle a goal or two. So who knows? But I've gone for a brave bet. I've gone Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2. As I say, technically on paper, that should be more than 2-0. No disrespect to Newcastle, but the squad that we've got, it should be 2-0. But we know what Arsenal like at playing at the back. And if you are a team like Newcastle, you'd be looking at what Arsenal did at Chelsea and Manchester City and West Ham and Cardiff. Every single game they've made stupid errors from the back. So if you're a Newcastle, that's probably the tactic that they've been working on all week. Run at Arsenal when they're trying to play out the back four. Run at them, panic them, do whatever you got to do. That'd definitely be my tactic. But I'm going to go 2-0, but it probably won't be, to be fair. And that's me coming from a really, really honest Arsenal fan. So we have Huddersfield versus Palace next. Again, I think that'd be be really tough. But I've gone for a really, really boring for a really, really boring scoreline. Actually, I've gone Huddersfield 0, Crystal Palace 0. So maybe that's a little bit disrespectful, but two teams at the moment that are probably struggling for a couple of goals, but we'll see. We have Chelsea versus Cardiff. Again, I just spoke about Cardiff. I don't think they would have been given the goals had we not have give them the goals. I don't think Chelsea are looking that great in defence as well as Arsenal. So again, that's why I'm going to give a goal to Cardiff, but I do think Chelsea will win. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Cardiff 1. At 5:30, we have Watford versus Manchester United. Obviously, I spoke about Watford beating Tottenham just before the international break. They've been on quite a roll, actually, Watford. I think they've won all 4 games, have they? Or they haven't lost all 4 games, something like that. We know that Manchester United did beat Burnley, but come on, it is a very, very poor Burnley side at the moment. And Burnley did play in the Europa League, I'm led to believe, as well, leading up to that. So no credit for me for Manchester United. Sorry, Manchester United fans, but no credit for me for that. Got to do a lot more to impress. Well, I'm not saying you have to impress me, but you'd have to do a lot more to impress maybe even your own fans. Just one result by beating a poor Burnley side. No disrespect to Burnley, but I'm just saying. Watford will be a tougher test, and I can say that Watford winning is quite comfortable, actually. The players aren't playing for Manchester United at the moment. So they're not playing for Manchester United, they're not playing for Jose Mourinho. So I'm going to go for a comfortable win for Watford. I'm going to go Watford 2, Manchester United 0. We go to the Sunday kickoffs now, and we have Wolves versus Burnley again. I think this is going to be a really, really tight, tough game. A good end-to-end game as well. Just spoke about Burnley. Probably Wolves as well have done quite well. In the Premier League again. Just coming up from the Championship again, been quite a while, maybe 7-8 years, something like that, since they were in the Premier League. Might even be longer for Wolves actually. Again, Wolves aren't obviously going to be as strong as Manchester United. But so I can see Burnley getting something out of this one. As I say, Burnley did play in the Europa League leading up to that game. So I'm going to go Wolves 1, Burnley 1. But if you ask me on a play, I probably would put Wolves as the favourite side because they look the stronger side and they are at home. But I'm going to go for 1-1. At 4 o'clock, we have Everton versus West Ham. It's been a dreadful start for West Ham. Okay, they didn't exactly have the best start to the fixtures, and it doesn't really get much better going to Goodison Park. I can see them scoring, but I can just see Everton. Everton's done quite well this season, actually, considering what they were like last season. So considering how 2 teams are playing at the moment, I'm going to go for a comfortable win for Everton. I'm going to go Everton 3, West Ham 1. I can't see Manuel Pellegrini staying there for too much longer if he's not getting any points on the board, even though it was a very, very tough start. And then we have Monday Night Football at 8 o'clock, Southampton versus Brighton. Again, 2 teams. I think that might be a little bit of a derby, actually. 2 teams that are, struggling at the moment. Not doing too bad, but they are kind of like 2 teams that will probably be battling relegation. So for that, I'm going to go Southampton 1, Brighton 1. So that's been my predictions for this weekend, guys. And I will see you next week for next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.